Hey everyone, it's March 19th, 2013, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, 10:47 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just wanted to update y'all again. Last night, well, today, I got the news that early last night my father passed away. And I keep going back and forth between being calm and being really emotional. And it's weird because all the times that I've lost a loved one, and this is now my sixth one in my lifetime, this one was one that I was trying to prepare myself for. My dad was diagnosed with COPD about 2 years ago, and they gave him 2 years. So, I mean, it was a pretty good estimation, I guess, by the doctors. Even though I had told his doctor that he had through Metro Hospital that I suspected that my dad had at least emphysema, and there were so many times his doctor just disrespected me about it. And so, I mean, my advice is is if you guys have a loved one that is really sick, and doctors are saying one thing and you don't agree with it, encourage your loved one to get a second opinion, because it might save their life, it might prolong their life. My dad was a big part of my life. I don't really talk about my childhood that much, mostly because I don't remember a lot of it. But what I do remember was the various places that I lived at, and I'm not going to name names because I don't feel like getting sued. But the places that I lived in, they really talked down about my father, and so my relationship with my father was very fractured until 2001, when in May I moved out to Tennessee, because that's where my dad was living at the time. And, I lived there for about 5 months, and, that time really helped my dad and I rebuild our relationship. We were able to put a lot of issues and a lot of things that we had a really hard time dealing with. We were able to put it to rest. And I'm grateful for that. I'm really thankful that I was able to have that opportunity. So many people in this world, they have strained relationships with their parents, and they never get the opportunity to actually sit down with them and settle their differences. And I was blessed that I was given that opportunity. And I remember when I was little, I asked my dad, I said, "Daddy, can you stick around long enough to walk me down the aisle when I get married?" And he said, of course, I'll be around for a very long time." I was like, okay. And then when I got married, I was also pregnant, so I asked my dad, I said, "You're walking me down the aisle today." I said, "But can you stick around long enough for this child to remember you?" And he's like, "Of course, I'm not going anywhere." I was like, okay. And then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, "Dad, can you stick around a little bit longer, so that my daughter will remember you too?" And he's like, "Oh, sure." That's when his health was still really good. He was 88, so he's lived a long, hard life, and, his health really started to tailspin out of control 2 years ago. And it was like, finally all the stress and strain and all the hardships that he had to deal with just kind of caught up to him. And it comforts me in some degree that he's now with my mom. My mom passed away about 25 years ago. And it's mind-blowing. I'm 32 years old and my parents are gone. But I haven't told my children yet. I'm going to be trying to get back to Ohio as soon as I can. I'm on bereaved leave for a week and a half or so from work. So I'm going to try to get out to Ohio, take care of all of the final arrangements and everything so that I can resume work. But my children they're going to remember him. And my father left behind a legacy. I was an only child. And a lot of the values that he instilled in me, he was very old school. And I like to think that he passed down those values to me so that I could pass them down to my children. And I wish for everyone to be able to, have good relationships with their parents. And if you don't, I hope that you're able to repair them. Because at the end of the day, wouldn't you want to be able to call up your parents and tell them that you love them and hear it back from them, instead of, issues from years ago cropping up and, this unspoken strain between the two of you. I mean, I don't know. That's just how I see it. I mean, obviously, if people that, survived abuse at the hands of their parents, I can understand. And that there would be a lot of stress and strain. But, every kid goes through a process where, like in their teenage years where, the authority figures in your life, your parents, guardians, what have you, you just really want to rebel against them. Because I've been there. I had my rebellious stage. And then after it passed, I looked at my dad and I was like, you put up with a lot of my shit. I really put you through a lot of stress and worry and through it all. I mean, he was there with me when I was in labor with my son. When they told me that Nathaniel was crowning, that's when my dad ran out of the room because he was afraid that I was in pain. He didn't want to see me in pain. With my daughter, we were able to get him up to the hospital about a day and a half after Katie was born, and he got to hold her. And he just loved my children. He loved his grandbabies so much, and my kids just thought the world of him. They called him Pawpaw when they were babies, and as they got older, they called him Grandpa. And when I get back to Ohio to take care of everything, that's when I'm going to sit the kids down and tell them what's going on. And it's going to be rough. Because my son used to sit next to him and ask him questions and talk to him. My daughter used to sit in his lap and look up at him and give him hugs and kisses. And he was just a really good man, and I'm trying to work on a eulogy to write for the memorial service that we're going to have. So, but I just wanted to give you guys an update and let y'all know that what's going on. I probably won't be making another one of these for quite some time. It takes actually a lot for me to put myself out there. You know, I used to do it as a way to kind of vent frustration, you know, and now, I mean, I'm not under as much stress as I used to. I mean, right now I'm under a lot of stress, but it's stress that, you know, that happens. It's not something that, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just thought I would update y'all and let y'all know that I'm alright. Just going through a lot right now. So, love, peace, and duck face to you all. And, you know, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Because that's what really the world is all about. It's about love. And I'm actually going to do a part 2, so stay tuned.